Hello, everyone. I'm recording this right now because it's a question that I've thought about for quite a long time, but I think everybody out there might be able to benefit a little bit by just thinking about it with me too, you know? And it keeps coming up, and in everything, actually, and basically it's almost like it's the mystery of life, really. And it's just three simple words, or four, I don't know. And it's just, what makes you who you are? So tricky, especially since I don't want to say it's like a duality, one side here, one side there, of here's the internet and here's real life, but there's some sort of connection there, because the friends that I have in real life and the friends that I have on the internet have some things in common and some things not, but the biggest difference, I think, is that in real life, you can't really control your identity as much as you can on the internet. On the internet, you can control it all, Everything that you put out there is up to you, right? I can show up here in a mask and one glove and a strange little necklace, and you guys will see whatever I want you to see. It might be strange, it might be mysterious, but maybe I'm the kind of guy that likes being strange and mysterious, In real life, though, there's still some things you can't control. The sound of your voice, what your face looks like, where you're born, tons of things, you can't control, say, the prejudices that your family has, but you can control yourself, thank goodness, Question everything. Remember that now, especially yourself. A very influential teacher told me that. But what I'm trying to say here is that in real life, when you think about it, sometimes friends just kind of come up out of circumstance, Like I once said to myself, I'm friends with everybody in my class, I'm friends with everybody in the school. I might as well be. You got your best friend, maybe, and I maybe have two of them, and everyone else is kind of just like acquaintances that I might help, but there's people I care about, definitely. But the thing is, I guess you wonder what it is that other people who are your friends see in you. To some degree, they'll let you know from time to time. They'll be like, oh, hey, look at this picture, right? That one time when we were outside the graveyard and and the girls were making, fun of it because they were scared and taking pictures of gravestones. They were like, oh my gosh, the floaty lights, it's haunted, woo! And here we are, arm in arm, we're like, oh yeah, this isn't scary at all. And he's like, and he was like, that picture is what means me and you are friends. I don't know. On the internet, it makes so much more sense because absolutely everything that you say is deliberate, in real life, you can say a couple of things and then, oh, wait a minute, I didn't mean it that way, or, oh, wait a minute, I just didn't understand sarcasm. Or, really, I'm not like that because, I guess on the internet, you still have the problem of first impressions, right? Where people will see you at first. And maybe that was the day that laundry wasn't done, and your pants were full of holes, and you had mud on your face, and you were carrying the severed head of, that orc that you slayed, or something like that. Wait, that doesn't even make sense. But whatever, my point is, how is it that other people get to know who you are? And how is it that you create who you are? Because I look around my room right now, and I'll show you guys that in the vlog where you guys were asking me a lot of questions. Feel free to ask more questions, by the way, so I can fill that up really nice. But when I was talking about me being an artist, I look around my room, and there's like certain things around here that are just like, okay, I made this for a specific purpose to remind myself who I am and who I want to be, right? And to a certain degree, hanging out with the friends that I do kind of does that too, because I notice when I'm with certain people, who I am changes, Like maybe you're with that crowd of slightly rowdier people, and, they make all the ridiculous jokes, and so you've got to be there too. And maybe it's because I'm an actor and I can change how I am very, very easily. But it's kind of like, there might be those other people where all of a sudden you stand next to them and, oh my gosh, everything is a philosophical debate, and like, life is amazing, and you're like, oh my gosh, can anybody really tell you the importance of just, you know, sitting down and listening to the wind over the river. You just talk with this person, and it's just, bam, you could discover the secrets of the universe in like years just talking about everything, and but it's not with everybody, is it? Because there's those certain other people. I mean, you'd call them your friends, but they're not really your friends. I don't know. This topic seems to be going everywhere, isn't it? I suppose I was trying to get on the fact of why the heck am I still wearing a mask, even though my other vlogs very, very recently had me with my face. But, why is that? It's all about how you create identity, and I suppose if I want you guys to get to know me better, and if you want to get to know me better, I better explain this away. Nobody's asked me this yet, and I'm going to explain it now, right here. What is FWIP? What does FWIP mean? I've told this to a few different people, but basically, there was this time when me and a friend would just kind of play outside our house in like the giant snow hill, and for fun, we would just imagine we were other characters, alright? Now, he made up his own name, which I believe was like Hellfire or something or other, and I just kind of borrowed the name Spaceman Spiff from Calvin and Hobbes. But the thing was, after a while, I just decided, you know what, this isn't original at all. I'm just, I'm turning this into something it's not, this is a creation of somebody else. I want to be somebody original, even if, inside I might not be all that original, because, like I said, when you're with different people, you're somebody else, right? What is it that makes you, you? It's so difficult to figure out. If you change all the time, is there anything that remains the same? Well, at the very least, there's that desire to be original in me. So I decided right then, I believe I was 13 or 12 or something like that. But I just was thinking, I'm on the forums, and I see these, I'm lurking on forums, and I see that, at least with a last name, somebody's last name, his username was Matt Thorndark. I'm sure he doesn't even exist anymore. This was so long ago. But I was just like, okay, so if you're going to create a last name, you just need to put two interesting things together, and that makes a last name. So I came up with, okay, Death Speeder. Made sense. What about the first name? Well, I thought, what's more original than creating a name that doesn't exist from a sound that nobody's thought of? So I was like, just kind of playing around with it in my mouth for a while, and I was like, oh, how about FWIP? Doesn't need to mean anything except that it's original. And to make it look good, I'm going to spell it with two P's. Makes sense. No, somebody once said it's the sound of an arrow, but no, it is literally, I suppose, if I had to translate FWIP, it's, I guess, yeah, just simply the desire to be original, And it kind of progressed from there, I suppose I'll try to show you a piece of art later on that I made, because everything in my life seems to tie together to this thing. Just that, when you do art and you start like taking little bits of other things you've done and making reference to it in everything, all of a sudden it's like your whole life is a mosaic of the experiences you've had. One after another, just kind of piling on top of each other. And you're like, it's like you're adding meaning to things. Even you don't quite understand the full meaning that it could make. But to me, that's almost like when you look at art, it having meanings that you don't understand is almost the fun of it, really, But it's kind of different. I mean, does that make it good that the artist doesn't quite understand what he's doing? Criticize it all you want, but that's me. I'm sitting here with a mask that is partially, I suppose, influenced by the character Dimentio from Super Paper Mario, and perhaps Dark Matter from the Kirby series, and, I like the color gray because it's the difference, it's a mix of white and black, which are supposedly opposites, which makes me basically true neutral, because my astrological sign is Libra. There's just so many different aspects to, like, life that I've just amalgamated them into this strange identity for myself that I can't even quite comprehend, you know? I've got my own personal religion where, to explain that it's a personal religion and that pretty much I believe that after conventional religion people should create their own personal spirituality, I made my symbol just simply the first letter of flip, turned it into a cross, just a big F, so that, if anybody else was thinking, oh, I'm going to join it, well, you can't really. No. Because my mindset is, I'd rather that people just simply made their own, and that's kind of how you join it. I mean, I suppose that's kind of a bit of a lonely existence, because another function of conventional religion is simply everybody getting together, That's the thing, though. It's a community. Was sort of the mindset there, at least in my own personal experience with religion. Again, this is all, I probably don't need to say this, but these are all my opinions and stuff. So, I don't think I'm the voice of truth, because no, I'm only the voice of truth for myself. Because the only thing I control is me. But as a result, I definitely think and critically about everything, and revise a lot of stuff that I do. So, actually, I've already said why. If I ever got a tattoo, what would it be? It would be right here, my F cross thingy, because in effect, it used to almost be like this strange cutoff. Like there was the me in real life, and there was the me on the internet, and was there anything in between? I didn't know. So it's almost like at this stage in my life where I'm not entirely sure if I've created an identity for myself that's completely perfect or stable or whatever, but I do believe that I do have a good path in mind, and it's just, how do I explain this? Especially when it's all spontaneous and I haven't written any of this down. It all should be in my head, though. Because this is all things I've talked about so much just to myself. And yes, I believe talking to yourself is not a sign of the insane, but a sign of the person who actually is thinking quite clearly. Very good question, though. The person who's crazy. Try proving he's not crazy, because you'd say that the crazy person would say that he's not crazy, right? It's a bit backwards. Regardless. Alright, what was I saying? 1 minute. I'm just going to pause this and think about it for a minute. Flippity-doo-dah. Flippity-day. What was I saying? Oh, right. The difference between being the me in real life and the me on the internet. It was very interesting for a bit. It was almost like if there was something difficult in real life I was trying to think about, I'd try to put myself in the mindset of the me on the internet, because the me on the internet had created himself into something that everybody kind of looked up to, I wasn't a moderator when I was at LLF, but at least I knew there that since I could control what other people could see, I was who I wanted to be. In real life, though, I was bullied a lot for being just the shortest person in my class. It made absolutely no freaking sense, and of course it was wrong, but that's what people are in real life, I guess. They're cruel. They're unusual. They don't understand you. So they make fun of you where you can. That's life. Whatever. Because I'm happy with who I am right now, and that's the important thing. And that actually pretty much solves a lot of problems, Deciding that you're happy with who you are literally solves a lot of life's problems. But when it comes to, what makes you who you are, it's so strange, really. It's going to take more than one video to really think about this, isn't it? Gosh, but that's fine. I just want you guys to think about that, too. I mean, look around your room for a minute, where you are right now. If you're on the internet, which I presume you are, think about everything that you say. Think about all the friends you have there. How do they know you? It's interesting, because since you do have complete control on the internet of what you say, what people will think about you, basically. Just think about the identity you're creating for yourself and what that means for you. Are you two different people, or are you still one? It's so curious. Would I actually get a tattoo of an F cross, even though nobody else in the world would understand the significance of it? Yes, because in my own personal religion, I guess we can call it, I can say that. I do believe that as long as you believe that what you're doing is right, from your moral standpoint, which, presumably you've already, you know, worked on for so long that you've decided, okay, you know what, I have a good soul, pretty much. I've got a good spirit, so I believe in my own judgment, and, I'll, critically sit down with myself every so often and say, was that the right choice? Because if you're the only one that can control yourself, you better be sure to, sit down and, really think about the things you're doing every so often. But, no, just, I believe that as long as what you believe in, helps you, and is taking you where you want to go, you shouldn't actually listen to, or rather, you can listen to alternate viewpoints, yes, but it doesn't harm you any for other people to not understand. Like, do what you want to do, and regardless of the negative views that other people might have, don't let those change your mind, okay? Even if it seems really strange, if what you do works and you believe in it, and your goals are good, then it must be good too, no matter the strange outcome and the means of getting there. You don't have to be understood to be doing the right thing. But if you understand it's the right thing, then that's what counts, right? I don't know. I've got a whole bunch of wacky beliefs, I guess. That's fine, because if that makes me a wacky person, I like being a wacky person, because I like being me.